All right, let me go to the director of the project. He is the head of our documentary film unit, Joe Weasel. Despite his name, he's not. And he runs our doc film unit out of Columbus, Ohio. And he's got one of the best, smartest teams out there. You've worked 8 months on this project called The Project. And, Joe, to summarize for people who just don't know what this is, can you tell me quickly why this is important or what this is exactly?
Quickly, I think it's you have to take a man at its word. I think when you discover the roadmap, when you look at someone's ideology and you start to make some distinctions about who they are and what their objectives are, and when it's in writing, and when the rhetoric starts to match the objective, and when this is something that's long-term, you had better start taking things at face value.
Okay, so this is, for instance, if you watch The Rumors of War, you could watch that and say, okay, these guys said that they, wanted to take over the West and destroy the West and America and Israel and everything else. But they're just saying that. That's just politics. That's just speaking, a different language. That's just appealing to their people. But this is the actual plan on how to do it that we confiscated in raids back in 2001 and 2004. So this is not just their words and speeches. This is the Muslim Brotherhood behind the scenes saying, this is how we do it. Right?
That's exactly right. And I think you hit on a very key point, if I could bring you back to it. And I think this is really important for people that watch this, and they should. The first thing to really understand, and this is important, is the majority of Muslims do not believe in radical Islam. There are groups of people, though, the majority of the organizations who speak on behalf of all Muslims, they say they speak on behalf of them, they are a problem. They've been proven to be tied to terrorist organizations. They've been proven to be tied to be front groups of Muslim Brotherhood. Those are the groups you have to worry about. These are not the majority of Muslims. The problem is the narrative, the vision, the operation is controlled by those people.
Part of the plan talks about how they're, through ISNA, CARE, and the Muslim Brotherhood front groups, they have to control the Islamic population here first. That was one of the first steps, is get them in line.
Correct. And let's back up too. When you get into this, and you had mentioned that we have had a lot of people talk to us. You always have to be suspect. I know you are too. But when somebody tells you something in confidence, first of all, you got to figure out their motivation.
Yep.
So when we started to get a lot of information and a lot of people inside government were speaking to us, you have to rule out that they're just disgruntled. I think this all came to light for us as a group when one of our contacts was a Muslim working in government. And when I started to hear this person's analogy of what was going on and told me this person's background from Pakistan, I think that was the moment where you started to realize this was a real issue. And when the moderates are stifled and not allowed to speak, and the last conversation I had with this person, I even wrote it down in my notes when I was doing this, was, I can no longer speak to you. And this was not a fan of
me,
yours, not a fan of anybody. This person didn't even really like Ronald Reagan, to be honest with you. But it had come to a point where this person said, here's what's going on. And thank God that person also sent me to some other people, because there are good people in government that know this is going on. There are people in military intelligence that have identified this. But the problem is our leaders have failed us, Glenn, and this goes back to the Bush administration.
Okay, so when she said, I can no longer talk to you, what did she mean by that?
Yeah. She was, and I know people are going to twist this, but she was scared for her life. She knew that if she was exposed, that her family, that she was in essence, she was an enemy of the Muslim Brotherhood, of those who had an agenda that she was not in line with.
I will tell you, Joe, and correct me if you think I'm engaging in hyperbole, but I really truly believe by running this documentary, all those who are involved, including you and your team, me and my team, this network, and all those involved in forming are in grave trouble.
Yeah, the pattern is they'll first try to ignore it. Then they'll call us all racist, hate groups, and this is standard. Then they'll attack the speech. They'll say we're involved in hate speech. then they'll try to engage in restricting our speech, not theirs. And they'll try to, rally against us, which is at the point at which you hope that the moderates, the majority of Muslims, will say, enough.
Well,
You'll hope that
I've not.
Say,
I mean, look, the moderate Muslims has been screaming for our help for a long time. Well, here it is. But I don't count on the moderate Muslim help because the moderate Muslim has already been silenced. The American people have to know about this. The question that I think is answered in this, but I want to hear your response. This is all Muslim Brotherhood. This is everybody in the media who got behind the Muslim Brotherhood and said, oh, no, they're a peaceful organization. I mean, everybody, left and right, everybody said, oh, no, this is going to be good. The president knew about the project. The advisors in the State Department knew about the project. The Pentagon knew about the project. Why did no one say anything? Why is the Muslim Brotherhood suddenly deemed wonderful by this administration? Any way that he didn't know?
No. I mean, they are a highly trained military intelligence operation. These people are incredibly skilled. They also operate in America very uniquely. They look right past us. They look right through us. Americans look at things in short term, 100 years, 10 years, months. These people look at things in terms of centuries. They are highly disciplined. It's a slow process. It's a process of, for lack of a better term, it's infiltration. It takes a high level of discipline and commitment.
You will not believe tonight what you see on television. Dish, channel 212, theblaze.com/TV, The Project, 8 p.m. Eastern.